Oh yeah, I'll have to teach you about how to get rid of pre-rolled ads at some point.
My mic was muted. I keep forgetting that all these scenes are different.
Yeah, it's things to get used to.
Yeah. Okay, but it seems like we are good. I told some people that I was going to send a quick invite. So hopefully I can send this and let people know. We gotta get that thing set up on your Discord to do the fancy
What?
uh, uh, shout out messages.
Oh, like my streamer friends thing?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
thing.
that's through a me. Carl Bot is something that you can use that apparently you can do it for free. I used Me 6, but I paid $70 to buy that.
Ooh, nice.
But it's a one-time purchase, so. And I've gotten a lot of shit because people are like, "Oh, you could have done that same thing for free," and it's like, "Yeah, well, I didn't know that at the time, and so I've already bought it, so I guess I'm using it."
There we go.
Yeah, and I can send you a link to CarlBot.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure this was all situated. I got some other kind of funny, dumb stuff to talk about too. Whenever we actually
Hell yeah.
have an audience to talk about some stuff, but all right, let's move over. You gotta enjoy my new stinger. Did you know that I had stingers?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Where it shows the little thing going over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's supposed to be a planchette. I had this idea of making my guy a little planchette guy. Oh, your little dude didn't show up.
It does not look like it's on there.
Oh, it's because it's invisible. There you go. Now
You
you're
have that
a real
from time
boy.
to time.
Yep. I'm gonna shrink it a little
Indeed.
bit.
And I can even change so I'm facing the right way.
Oh, nice.
You don't even have to do a thing. I've got a model for this. Hiya!
That's incredible. You're a machine.
I am prepared. I've even got this one if we want to get fancy.
Oh, dear God.
I've even got one that spins. I've got one that's
wild.
spinny.
You're gonna have to run me through some of that later. But yeah, we'll wait a tiny bit to at least have a couple of people. I don't know if anyone's gonna show up or whatnot. I guess that not a ton of people are around Sunday night, but
Hey, you never know. It's not too late for some people.
Just to just to throw a couple
your West Coasters
going on here is we got many things here that we're gonna go over. We got some Mothership, we got some Witcher. I have a lot to say about this. This is a hilarious thing that I discovered that I think we should talk about. And then I also have my Ravenloft Taroka deck. Kind of see. Oh wow, that's an old college friend. Holy shit!
Oh hell yeah, Deus Ex Machina 275. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, I haven't talked to that kid in a minute. That's fun. Well, welcome to the thing, my man. It's a going. I'm giving this a good shake. I'm gonna see how this all pans out. But my hope is to do some like book reviews and such. Hopefully we'll get some people to chat at here in a couple of minutes. But Um, the the channel is a new thing, so we're gonna kind of see if I dig this or not. And if you see anything that needs to be tweaked, let me know, because I'm still obviously very new at this, and there's a good deal of stuff that's gonna have to get tweaked and changed. But the setup seems okay. But yeah, man, we got a
your
Mothership
setup's nice.
to open. I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't even know that they still sold this.
I would
This
say
is just...
maybe turn your microphone up just a tad.
Oh yeah, I turned it actually way down because it was super loud. So let's tweak this some more here.
I'd say about like somewhere between 3 to 4 decibels.
Let's
probably.
see how that goes. Is that better? Hopefully so. Maybe I can go up some more. Okay, perfect. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of a flagship thing that a lot of people have been looking for. I think it is back in print. For a while, I think it was out of print, so that was kind of a big bummer. Tuesday Night Games, another publisher that kind of showed up and started swinging for the fences, and the stuff that they make is unbelievably beautiful. So I'm going to crack the seal on this bad boy.
If you can, real quick, run yourself like a 1-minute ad break from your stream manager.
Boy, you're talking like I know how to do a 1-minute ad break here. Oh, I guess it's this big green button. So we're gonna do that out for a minute, so that way we don't get interrupted, and we're gonna go from there. Yeah. Be right back.
Because the reason I wanted to tell you that is because like so you, like
channel recently ran commercial, so I cannot.
Oh, okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
All right, we're gonna crack the seal on this. So I already kind of took it apart, just because it was like starting to come apart. But this is supposed to be everything that's in it. We got like a storyteller screen, a couple of their adventures. Their adventures look sweet. I've heard amazingly good things about it. And then a lot of different handouts, some pop-out guys. So yeah, we're gonna get into this thing and see what's actually in it. So this is your first crack here. There we go. Dude, that is beautiful. Survive, solve, save. All of this is textured as well. So like you can actually feel the ridges and stuff on this art. It is really freaking cool. I just picked this up at a local game store today. So that's kind of why I was digging it.
How much did it run?
This runs $100. So
pretty penny.
Yeah. The other Mothership stuff, which actually I was going to kind of post this stuff as we go. So one of the things you can do if, you know, I don't really have a reason for people to subscribe and stuff, but I am an affiliate on DriveThruRPG, mostly through my writing and working with a couple of other things. So if any of this stuff interests you, I'm going to post some links. If you use that link, it just tells them that I sent you, and that kind of tells them, like, hey, we should help this dude out some. But man, this
we should put that as a thing on your about page sometime. I'll have to teach you how to do about tiles. And you can also set it up to come up every once in a while through stream elements through a timer.
That would be a good thing to do. So this looks friggin' sweet. Definitely has alien vibes, which I think is kind of the whole premise of this. Sorry about the camera thing here. I don't have the best in the business lighting here, but looks super sweet. Let's take a look at the actual backside of this. Nice. Well, thanks for lurking there, Brandon. It's good to see you. Hopefully we can chat again soon. Seeing something called Mega Damage. That concerns me, as that's a thing I've only heard in riffs. But man,
you don't want to take mega damage?
Yeah, dude. This is packed. So
yeah, Cam, mega damage. Tell us about mega damage.
Yeah, I can tell you about Rift's mega damage. I don't know anything about this yet.
Yeah, how's it work in Rift?
In Rifts, 1 mega damage is equal to 100 standard damage. So,
God damn.
Yeah. So, like, in Rifts, there's
spicy.
basically there's actually like 4 different damage types you can take. You can take hit point damage, which is you are dying. Like if it gets to the point that you're taking hit point damage, things are going wrong, and you need to get to a hospital. You cannot just like naturally heal hit point damage. It's
have to go
bad.
to the hospital.
Or receive magical healing or something like that. Like, you just can't get better.
You must seek aid.
Yeah. Then there's SDC, which is standard damage capacity, which that you can. Alright, I have no idea what this is. This must be some kind of ship combat thing. Oh, and here we go. Some discussion. I love this, like, detection thing here. I can kind of scroll up a little bit. You're going to see a little bit of my OBS, but... So mega damage must be specifically like ship damage. But yeah, this looks great. I definitely enjoy having this kind of like set where you must have to burn a certain amount of fuel to move through. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what this all means. Because again, like, I've never played this game. I've only heard of it. I've heard amazing things. I've heard enough that made me want to drop $100 on it.
Maybe.
So,
hey,
oh,
Lyle
dude,
Cross,
is that Carl?
first time message. Cool.
Yeah, I wonder if that is.
I should be spinning for this.
You're gonna do a spin? Very nice. But yeah, these are really nice little minis. I've always liked inked lines. Oh man, stuff is happening. Oh, I gotta set up the spirit board. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That's like the whole thing. Oh boy.
People are also doing their check-in, and
Yes.
that's not.
I don't know
across
that
either.
I don't know the check-in's working either. Let me fix this real quick. Sorry guys, I totally forgot that this was also going to need all of my Sammy stuff.
Don't worry, Karma. I refunded your spirit board points.
Yep, thank you. I will get this up and running here in just a second, and then we can kind of jump back into some of those things. Oh my God, it is Carl. The one mushroom. That is a wild old joke.
Rock and Stone.
From
You got
from a
your own
game that I
Carl.
ran.
I've got a Carl as well.
Indeed. I do have a Carl of my very own. Okay, 50% of this is set up. Hilariously, and Carl will laugh, in order for this to work, I have to open VS Code.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Don't worry, man. Scuff stream, best stream. It's all a work in progress.
Alright. And then...
Everybody, be distracted by boobles.
Oh my dear God.
What? I'm helping? I'm helping? I'm helping?
How could this happen to me?
I'm helping.
Jesus. Let's see if that works. If that works. Alright. Karma. Fire that bean footage again. Let's see if all of the stars have aligned.
All the stars have aligned. It
should
once more.
trigger some stuff, I think. Did I... Maybe.
She fired it off.
It's not that great. This is the thing I need to figure out how to do better. Is I think in order for this to work, I have to have a Sammy deck run.
Yeah, that's how it connects to your OBS.
And
to your Twitch.
I'm doing my damnedest to remember how in the hell to do that.
Cam!
Yep. No, wait. I think I figured it out. I did figure it out. I just have to select. There we go. Okay. Now it might work. And if it doesn't, it's dead to me for the moment. All right, man. Look at this big nasty boy there. Black and white line art is God. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. I may have to change. Hold on a second.
Oh no.
I don't actually. It's not going to work on this. So I'm remembering that only works on certain scenes.
Can't you just copy the thing from the scenes where it works to over here? Ho! Ho!
Book review. Add. This
Don't worry, everybody. This will not be a black screen after a while.
There we go.
There we go.
So yes, it is now there. God only knows if I have to do something insane with Sammy for it to know the scene. Yeah. I actually have to change this to look at a different...
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm sorry. At least you have me here to refund everybody's points.
Yes, because it's bad. All right.
Ah, you get that with these.
Oh God, I touched the camera. Dude.
You get that with these Sammy jobs.
It's happening so fast. All of this is blasting at me. I was setting this all up for this nice, fun little, like, book thing. And of course, now that, oh, you know me, Cam, I got a thing and I was trying to make my Sammy work with the spirit board, and it's not. So I'm sure that I have set this so that it only works in specific scenes, and yeah. Let's see.
What's happening? The spirit board doesn't work on this scene. Cam, that's what's going on.
Yep. And like I can toggle it on, and I can see it, but it does not want to play ball. But this is what it looks like, everybody. And it actually like will move the planchette and answer stuff, and that's cool. But again, sorry, I'll just like don't redeem that for the moment. My bad.
Don't worry.
We're going to keep going with the unboxing, because that's what people are more than likely here to see anyway. So sorry, I will unjank my Sammy bits later. I didn't realize that all of those were... Oh, wait. It did it now. Nice. It threatened Cam, so...
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Well, I listen to called Run.
It hates Cam. That we can be certain of. Spirit board, are you going to go away?
I don't think so.
I'm going to make you go
it's locked
away.
In.
Okay. All right. So, we have... Oh, my God! Why?
What? I had to test if it would work.
Okay.
It didn't work for me.
I know. It's got a problem. I'm sorry. All right.
It's just funny that it worked for Cam.
Yes, it is funny that it worked for Cam and that it did threaten him. So this rules. Oh, these even have facing. That's cool. Line art in black and white is the best option for any horror game. This shit is top tier. Wow. Okay, so we got all the books and whatever containment B and A are. So I guess we'll go through. So this is the actual core book for the characters. these are like relatively thin, very chopped down rule sets. I've been told that these are super sweet. Oh, thank you. This is the wedding ring. It's one of them steely deal bobbers. Oh, Crimson popped in. Yeah,
Crimson!
they're all black and white, but the art in here is super high-end good stuff. It does look like our damages are all D10s and D5s. So I'm wondering this is probably a set like D10 type of game. But yeah, just looking at the art style and stuff, this looks phenomenal. I always love stuff like this too, where it actually shows what each of the individual pieces kind of looks like. I'm sure this isn't everything, but man, it's a lot of it. So this is sci-fi horror. I actually have some other stuff for this that I might go downstairs and grab to show. I should have grabbed it thinking about it, but I mean, this looks awesome. I'm not gonna like really rip the. Oh, there you go. There's your straight up Aliens inspiration there. Sweet. And then this is what a standard character sheet looks like, which also means this must be very, very cut down in like you're gonna roll 2d10 plus 25 for each of your stats. You're gonna make some save rolls, and then your classes give you straight bonuses to certain things. Love that Android is an option. So, Scientist and Teamster, which I'm guessing Teamster means that you're like part of the hauling crew.
Or like an ensign or something, I guess.
Well, Teamsters are like the folks that they're specifically like transporters. They're originally were that was the union of people who did like horse and buggies. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, this looks awesome. Okay.
Dice in the
Are there?
I love click clacks.
Okay.
Yeah, are there dice in there?
There are. So I saw this. There are dice. There's a D20 in here, which I was very surprised by, actually. Huh. Oh, and Ari knows Mothership? Cool. Well, I'm going to see if... Is this where the dice bag is? Containment A. This appears to be an empty box. It is, in fact, a box which is empty. So, I'm wondering if this is for these.
We should get if you can figure out how to run this game online, we should do a play of it sometime.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that
the
it's
gang
not
together.
because this is the exact size of the box, so these would not.
Yeah,
well,
so it's
they would
for
only
those.
kind of fit. I mean, dude, this is rock solid here. It did not need to be in here at all. So we'll see. Maybe it's just for these loose pieces. Probably.
I
Maybe?
do like that it's labeled Containment A and Containment B.
Yeah. So
They're breaching containment.
Warden's Manual. So I think Wardens is what they call the GM for this.
Yeah, Cam, this is the Mothership Deluxe Edition unboxing.
Yeah. So, love this. Just a big page of horrors and manifestations, as well as themes. I'm guessing, yeah, this is just telling you how to run it. Hey, Iron Strike. And then some discussions about different campaign settings and like how to, looks like charting out jumps and to get your players to understand how they're moving from A to B. So that's freaking sweet.
The Witcher RPG review will come
thanks,
soon.
Iron Strike. That you are the first person that has ever given me a bit.
Hell
You're
yeah,
the
and they give
man.
5 biddies.
5 bits.
Iron Strike just for you. Here you go. For the biddies.
Oh my God.
Tibbies.
Oh Jesus. He's selling himself.
Hell yeah. 5 more bits.
Whoa.
10 subs!
Oh my God.
I just gotta be on this model more often.
Oh, dude, that is phenomenal. Thank you very much. Holy shit. Those are also my first subs. Oh my god! It's all happening! Oh, wow. Dang, dude.
Hell yeah!
That is phenomenal. Thank you very much. Hot damn.
And you're up to a level 3 hype train!
Which is
From
not...
Choo Choo! No, level 4
Level
hype train.
4. Holy fuck. People must love Mothership, man. Wow. Again, thank you so much. The money, by the way, from this stream is going to go into buying art assets and stuff for running games and things. So hopefully we'll not Mothership. Oh, well, thank you very much. But yeah, so Shipbreaker's Toolkit. I'm guessing this is how to build ships. Damn! Wow, man. Dude, that's crazy. Maybe I'll be able to afford some emotes. All of those are handmade by me, and boy, you could tell. Actually, what I should do is send some of this money
Level 5 hype train, my man.
to Deus Ex Machina, who he's a graphic designer, artist, and I forget what the term is, but he does stuff for like 3D things. I can absolutely roll for a monstrosity, my friend. That was in the other book, right? So first, you feel this? You hear that? Oh, that crackle. Oh, yeah. Motion design, that's what it's called. All right, I'm holding the dice. They're like weirdly shiny. I have a lot of dice, and I've never seen them have this like gloss to the numbers before. Yes, math rocks galore. All right, so I think the horrifying things were in the Warden's manual. Am I correct? Is that not where I saw the giant thing? Oh, yes. So we got some D100s here. That's what I really need. Thank you again, everybody. This is crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say. So, yeah. I'm going to have to get some people to help me get these check-ins
Here's
and
an
things.
expired Subway coupon from the Retro Mint Man.
Oh my god. Retro Mint Man strikes. Okay, so 62 is a forgotten atrocity. So we got that going for us. 79 for an omen is speaking in tongues. I actually just watched a whole thing about the tongues, or the people in Appalachia specifically, that are churches that handle snakes and speak in tongues. Which, when we ever cover Old Gods of Appalachia, boy, we're going to talk about that. For a manifestation, we have a deranged killer. And how you get rid of it, which is what I assume banishment is. So 12, a vaccine, very topical, I suppose. And finally, with a 2, it will return in 100 years. I do really like this setup. This is a very cool, like, set for this. So, from what I understand, that is just Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers, you can't fight with a vaccine. I mean, the coolest thing about Jeepers Creepers though is the fact that like nobody could figure out what the hell was going on until that's true. No one did try to jam him with a vaccine. Maybe he's super needle phobic, and like he just can't.
Maybe. Or maybe he just, maybe if you inject him with a flu virus, maybe he's a strain of flu and we just don't know.
Hey, Call.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they automatically get some new badges and stuff for cheering and donating and stuff, right? Like,
yeah, they get like how Lord Crimson's the number 2 gift leader right now.
My man.
Deus Ex Machina is the bits leader.
Yes, thank you very much
and
for
Inari
all of this.
is the number 1 gift leader right now.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so real quick, how I understand this to be is that the way that Mothership goes, because I've listened to some people describe things in the Warden Handbook, which, by the way, from what I have been told, not to be outdone. Not to be outdone. Amazing. But from what I've been told, the Warden's Handbook, this is one of the best books to get your hands
on top.
Yeah. Is one of the best books to get your hands on to actually give you super solid advice on how to run horror games, how to keep pacing, and how to like really drive stories ahead. And it doesn't mean just for like sci-fi, but like straight up period. This is pointed as the best book for a new GM to read to understand how to like actually run stories. So I mean, amazing stuff. Why do I get a hype chest?
Because it's your hype train.
Oh, amazing. Thank you again, everybody. So, like, this, I would have never expected people to jump in so heavily. So, wow. But yeah.
Iron Strike opened the floodgates.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy. Full in. Again, I'm gonna post this link here just because we have new people in. I am a affiliate for DriveThruRPG. So if you
pin that to the top for you.
Thank you. If you want to actually take a look at this, it's not this specific bundle, but it is all of the books that are in this.
We're
so
just a supportive bunch here,
yes,
and that's all,
dude. And it's oh my god, I like I'm coming apart. I don't understand, and could not be more excited. All right. Oh god, I'm throwing stuff everywhere. Like my hands are shaking. So yeah, we're gonna set this aside.
Sorcelled.
Indeed. Oh, I was gonna cover one more thing. So, from I understand, how Mothership plots all work are these 5 stages. So, there's a transgression, something that the players do which triggers what's happening. So things like opening a grave, leaving someone behind, studying a strange relic, and like, I would bet we could go down this list one for one and link it to a sci-fi horror game or a sci-fi horror movie. So like, boy, I mean, boarding a ship and opening a grave both fit things in the Alien series. If you consider they're not the architects, they're the I can't remember what they're called, but basically the giant aliens that made the other Alien. If you consider that a grave, 100% there. Yes, thank you very much. And I'm gonna click that button myself here because I don't think that I was following an RA, and now we're on. But studying a strange relic. I mean, man, like all of these things are just straight up different horror movies, which I freaking love. Now that I'm like put right on the spot, of course my brain is emptying. But the one where they have like the black hole generator ship that's supposed to take them, God, it's killing me that I can't like. I'm such a crazy movie person and forgetting the name of Event Horizon. There it is. So yeah. Event Horizon.
Oh, don't worry, it'll happen to you again and again.
Yeah. Event Horizon fits like 3 or 4 of these, which I heard they're making another Event Horizon, which is kind of a weird take, but whatever. So after the transgression, the omen is the thing which tells the players like, okay, something fucked up is happening, and it's not okay. Like, this wasn't just a thing that happened that we're like, okay, that's a thing we're not going to do again and we just don't talk about it. Like, no. This is about to be everyone's problems. So things like stigmata or androids suddenly having visions or emotions. Ancient recording of a warning is found. Then you have the actual manifestation, which is the transgression directly caused the manifestation. So these are your alien creatures, your mutated beings, ghosts or spirits showing up, horrible dreams, pretty much the entire bibliography of Lovecraft could be jammed inside of this. Then you have your banishment, which is how you're actually going to rectify what's happening, or if there is a rectification that's possible, this is what you have to do. So either turn off or destroy the artifact, shoot the space into the sun, or the spaceship into the sun, destroy the creatures, etc. And then after that is the slumber, which is what will re-trigger this to happen, which to me, like the transgression and the slumber, should probably be 1-to-1. But you never know.
I can understand how it's different because if you disturb something and then you found out a way to undisturb it, that doesn't mean that it can't be. That doesn't mean that the new disturbance would be done in the same way. You precariously place a mirror back up in an elevator that you knock down by hitting it. Just the elevator jostling might accidentally unfuck that thing.
That is true.
You just kind of.
That is true.
So I can see how that makes sense.
But this is a super cool way of handling that stuff. All right, so unconfirmed contact reports. Which again, this. I know it's not in color, and obviously you see these other ones are. This is still beautiful. I love this black and white line art stuff, and so this. Oh God, look at that. Oh boy,
that is certainly a man.
Oh, they're called engineers. That's what they're called in Alien, because this dude's called the engineer. Which, if this dude told me he fixed something on my ship, no, he didn't. Someone else needs to check on that shit immediately.
That's not a face you can trust?
No. Man, these are beautiful. The Omnivore. So these are all different adventures. And this is just so cool.
Eyes too far apart for
and
comfort.
nose too close or something, dude. I don't know.
Crimson, so that way he can look at two separate things he's working on at the same time.
That's right. He's really working around the clock. Oh, dude, a biblically accurate angel.
Yeah, if that comes on board, you're safe.
It's fine. Everything's fine. God, there's so many more books. Warning. This is the Warden containment system. This is such a cool box. I really, really dig this. I'm guessing that this containment area is for these punch outs. This, I guess, is just for dice. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Be
The
not
small one for
afraid.
dice.
Beautiful. Yeah. So one of the things that really sets Mothership apart as well is the quality of the writing that's been done for these other handouts or these other adventures. People have praised the hell out of every single one of these adventures. So Not Another Bug Hunt is phenomenal. I mean, this is your Starship Troopers and things like that. It's also specifically a quote from Alien. So that's kind of interesting. Introductory.
You're really telling me that we just got to play it.
Dude, once I actually sit down and read this, because again, I've owned this for less than 24 hours, so I've only heard a little bit about it, but it's praised. And if you go on YouTube and you find people who review RPGs, I will almost guarantee you that in the background you will see this M. Somewhere in their background you will see this thing. So, yeah, dude. I mean, once I get a handle on it, we can get Crimson and some other folks together to give it a try.
Oh, yeah. And Wapoo in the server is also a big RPG guy.
Yeah? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We can kind of page through these a little bit, and then I want to get onto the actual thing, which is Witcher. I might do another hilarious intermediary between there, too, of something I found. For a Christmas game, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Krampus containment.
I mean, bug hunts are pretty much Helldivers, really.
There was a Helldivers tabletop RPG. Sounds like it'd be awesome.
It'd be really weird. Because the thing about Helldivers is that you die all the time. It's baked into the thing that you are just...
Yeah, so like it'd be a thing of like, if 3 of your players are dead, your guys got to get the the do the roll to get the call in to throw out the resupply thing, and you've only got just like in the game, you've only got so many troopers.
Nightmares, sculptures, and compulsions. Beautiful. Again, like, this art is so cool. This, to me, is 80s sci-fi. I haven't tried the Dark Souls RPG. I have played the Bloodborne tabletop. Not like TTRPG, but the actual tabletop, like, box game.
Yeah, like the actual just board game, I would say.
Board game is a better, yeah. And then, oh god, look at that. So, I don't know how many of you have seen Escape from New York, or any of
I've never even heard of Escape from New York.
So in the opening of Escape from New York, which, if you guys like crazy, like way over the top action movies, Escape from New York and Escape from LA are pretty top tier. And Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York is basically a very dark cyberpunk version of Big Trouble in Little China. But one of the cool things about... oh, hey, Dan's here. One of the cool things about Escape from New York is that when you come in, they're flying over the city, and you see this big graphical display. And all of it is practical effects. Like, they didn't make a computer that made this happen. They literally handmade this thing and did a move over of the camera. If you see the opening shot, you'll see what I mean. But it reminds me so much of some of the art in here. The
You'll have to show me sometime.
Yeah, well...
I'm gonna grab pizza and be right back.
Okay,
you don't
cool.
have to stop, but obviously, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna keep a rolling, man. Yeah, and like, they have all these huge tables and charts and stuff of like... Because this looks like this is all based on a big space station. So just like... Yeah, some shit's gonna go wrong on the space station, and what are you gonna do about it? But yeah, I mean, that is super cool. I also love that the inside matches the outside, so like, it's pink, black, and white. I don't know, that's just a cool thing, because I think this was the same way, right? This is black, red, and white. Yeah, that, like, this makes this stuff feel congruent with each other, that like, each of them, oh, I love that. Look at this. Yeah, the camera might not be able to pick this up, but this is old school rasterizing from like text-based. Oh my god, that's beautiful too. Wow. That is incredible. God, I hope this isn't actually a map. Oh my god, it's an actual map. There's a fucking legend in the bottom of this that explains what all of this is. Holy shit, this is a thick boy. Wow, and this is underwater since they just had a thing on the bends, which also means if they had a thing on the bends that nitrogen narcosis is probably a thing that's in play. Another kind of weird thing, I used to dive for a little while before I had a diving ear accident, and now I can't dive. But I basically had studied and gotten almost everything I needed to become a certified diver, and now I just can't do the practical because I can't go more than like 15 feet without my brain trying to leak out the other side of my head. But yeah, this is rad. This stuff is beautiful, and this box set is so cool. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. But yeah, that is the box set for Mothership. This is the Deluxe thing, and it looks like we got this, and we've got the Shipbreakers thing, we've got the manual. I'm just kind of going back in reverse here to show people who are kind of late to the thing. So this is still my favorite. Like, these are amazing. This is actually, like, pretty solid stuff here. And you can kind of see this is pretty solid here. I also love the fact that if they're giving you these ships, then they actually want you to use the ship map to its fullest extent. Which I didn't realize, too.
That little box, is that where all those little punch-outs would go, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's... I don't know about the little box. Oops, sorry, I'm, like, whacking the camera. But yeah, this is pretty slick that this has all of these things. This reminds me a lot of Traveler with, like, detection versus firing versus contact and all that. But yeah, I'll have to read through this to kind of figure out. My guess is... Because, like, here's the thing.
I would love to run a game, like, be in a game of this.
This is the question. If this fits in here, this only, yeah, it doesn't really fit in there. That's as far as it goes without pushing the box open. So I do not know what this is for.
That might be just like what I think Inari said earlier, is that it might have been just in a structure box.
But that's so weird because it's in this, and this thing is rock solid.
Or maybe it's for some of the other bits and bobs.
Yeah, it could be for
maybe
these.
Maybe it's for like...
These are like the standees that they give you to, you know.
Yeah, maybe it's for all those or something.
I did not see cards. So... but yeah, I would 100% agree. It looks like it holds cards, but like we've gone through everything, I did not see anything that looks like cards. Now, if there's some other thing that like that you can pick up that has cards, maybe you just do that. I mean, that would be cool. Okay. Oh yes, and then this. Which again, I'll show this off again too, because this is beautiful. So this is the actual, they call this the Warden screen. But like the art on that is, yeah, you could use this for something. Here, have it. But yeah, the thing that is a little bit intimidating about this is that this looks intense. Like, look at the chart and the density of the information on this. Like, yeah. Holy crap! Like, that's some stuff, my friends. So, but again, like, I have a friend that...
They used all of the buffalo on that real estate.
Yeah, they certainly did. But yeah, so that is Mothership, and I am super excited that I now, too, will have this in the back of my collection somewhere, haunting me and telling me. Bookshelf. Yeah, because that's what I need is more bookshelf. I actually just told Dan he was gonna try to give me something, and I was like, dude, I can't store it. And then I thought, I don't have room for this. Oh, this is so nice, though. So nice.
Another bookshelf. Yeah. Bookshelf 1 was so good, you need bookshelf 2.
Dude, I'm on bookshelf about 6, so...
Keep that gravy train rolling. Bookshelf 7, let's go.
Yeah, I just gotta keep convincing the wife. Which, the wife has her own books, so we're gonna do something much fluffier and funnier. So this is a game, so some of my friends, their wives love Hallmark movies. And, like, it's definitely a, like... I want to watch this because I think it's funny and it's super cringy, but, like, I'm gonna watch it. So I said, like, I found this thing, it's called HomeTown Holiday, and this is the Hallmark movie, The Game. So as you see, tabletop game for televised holiday romance. If you're familiar with the Powered by the Apocalypse system, it uses that system. So instead of, I think it's like strength, speed, and wit or something like that. I'd have to see. I haven't played Powered by the Apocalypse in forever. It's
Hello, city girl that has come out to the country. I'm here to show you that all of your problems can be solved by my schmeat.
We're gonna get into that. So it's sweaters, cocoa, and cheer. But yeah, so you choose a role. And these roles are Married to My Job,
Full single parent,
Heart of Main Street, So Married to My Job is the standard, like, I am too busy to have a relationship, right? Heart of Main Street is that you own the cool store or Airbnb or whatever that everybody wants to be a part of. Cool single parent. Dating the jerk, which is a classic thing there. And then a holiday spirit, which is that you are literally a supernatural manifestation of the holiday. If you want to run Hot Frosty, this is the Hot Frosty playbook.
No, not Hot Frosty, the game. I still need to watch that, you bastard.
Yeah, now you're gonna have a bunch of friends to watch it with. Santa Cupid, perfect. But yeah, so there's a bunch of like other sub rules to this of like how you figure out the point scoring, because there actually are point scorings for this of people who have a final kiss. Every person gets a secret objective, and if people get together in the back,
How final that kiss gotta be.
yeah, and then the director and prep, and then it just gives you a bunch of stuff that talks about like plot suggestions and how to run it and all of that, and what difficulty should be. But the fact that this exists is hysterical to me. So, one of our friends is going to run a game of it, and I told some other friend that I would do a game for them. But like, yeah, man, this is a thing, and it exists, and that's crazy as hell to me. So,
I cannot believe.
dude,
I would love to
you and me both. I will say the PDF for this is apparently $5. The hard copy, like this book itself, I want you to see how thick this book is. This book, I think, is $20 or $30. So,
My God.
maybe you get the PDF if you want to mess around with this. All right.
But then you can't have that on a bookshelf. For somebody to come over and be like, what is this? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, you've
be
touched
like,
the sacred text.
oh.
We gotta play it now.
Yeah, now it's on. All right, so the main event. Witcher. By our Tolstoyan Games, and specifically, this is the key part, CD Projekt Red. So we're going to kind of talk about this from a couple of different... So I'm a huge Witcher fan, as you might have noticed. This is my, like, day-to-day desk pad. The Witcher, to me, is one of the greatest, like, horror fantasy role-playing things that has ever existed. The system has some problems. We're going to talk about that. But the world that it takes place in is like one of the best that I think you're going to come across. It's a world that's entrenched in a brutal war. There's themes of like legacy between the Witchers and their schools, and how that's a thing which is going away, that they don't make Witchers anymore. And we're going to kind of go through a little bit of that. And then we're going to talk about Interlock, which is the system that this uses. Interlock is the same system that was used in Cyberpunk 2020. So not 2070 or Red, but the original book that these are made of. This is also by the Pondsmiths. So, I'm going to forget his name now. Is it not Michael? I'll have to look this up. So,
Smith and Pondsmith.
the Elder Pondsmith was the one that brought a bunch of stuff to... I'm going to see if it's in here. Oh, this is by Cody and Lisa. Wow. Mike. It is Mike. Okay. So Mike Pondsmith is the dude who made Cyberpunk. So, like, if you love Edge Runners, if you love Cyberpunk Red or 2077... like, Mike Pondsmith birthed that by himself. And, I mean, obviously there are other writers that contributed to it and things, but, like, that man is a legend that has left a mark now on this world that, I mean, like, holy shit. That is probably one of the newest influential pieces. And Cyberpunk 2020 had been around for a long time. But this is, from my understanding, his son's first foray into writing for a tabletop game. So our Tolstoyan games are the people who make the Interlock system. and they did license this from CD Projekt Red. Now, the reason I say that the CD Projekt Red thing is such a key element to this is that this is a rendition of The Witcher from the perspective of Witcher 3, which is freaking amazing. Because they were able to take a bunch of pieces that were like little fragments in the actual fantasy literature and bring it full circle to make an interesting thing that you can do with it. Like, Witchers, when they fight all these different monsters, sometimes they have to brew potions to make, like, their blood poisonous, or to be able to survive extreme colds, because they know that the thing they're fighting will be able to breathe ice, or something like that. So they have this, like, alchemical engineering that they've discovered in how to fight these monsters. They've also figured out how to make specific poisons for monsters, which they call oils. But all of that is sort of offhandedly mentioned sometimes in the book. And by the book, I mean like the actual Witcher fantasy novels, which is what all of this stuff is based on to begin with. Yeah. And that became like this whole system for Witcher. So let's kind of get into this and do like a little quick overview. So this takes place in a thing called the Continent. The Continent is a ton of kingdoms, and two of those kingdoms are in a bloody war, which is Nilfgaard and Redania. Also referred to as the Nilfgaardian War, which you can see there. This is the setting that this world takes place in. If you've seen the Witcher Netflix series, the like reason everyone is killing each other is because of the Nilfgaardian War. But we kind of get into, like, these are all the named characters, so you have some stuff for there, which is cool. Dandelion or Dandelion, depending on, I guess, how crazy you want to get. But they actually do give you kind of cool stats for everyone, just in case. And the other books in the series, which I do have several of the other ones we're going to kind of talk about, they have stats for other characters so that I think there are no characters that have a named mention in the book that do not have a stat block if you want to bring them in, which is kind of crazy.
Wild.
Yeah,
but I think it's like wild in a great way though. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that they have done for this. So, the Witcher world has humans, elves, dwarves, witchers, and maguses. Humans, elves, and dwarves are kind of a weird collection because, to like make a very long story short, there was a dimensional rift that they called the Grand Conjunction, where these two dimensions slammed into each other. And when they did, they actually passed through, and then chunks from this dimension leaked into this dimension, and chunks from this dimension leaked into this as they passed. In that passage, humans entered the world of elves and dwarves. And like sort of vice versa. And because of that, like this ancient race that had kind of dominated the world and had kept it in this sort of nice balance was immediately getting like jacked by all of these humans that were rapidly breeding and taking over their world. Yeah.
They're like roaches.
Yes. If you talk to an elf, they would describe humans as roaches. They breed unbelievably fast. They're incredibly violent. One elven female may bear like 2 or 3 kids in 1,000 years. And one, female human will generate between like 2 and 8 kids in 20 or 30 years. So they are wildly being outraced. And even worse, that some of the elves are falling for the humans, and some elves are like super disgusted by that. It's a whole thing. But when this Grand Conjunction happened, not only did like elves and dwarves and things get brought in, but so did like dimensional monsters. And these are things from, like, beyond understanding that got brought in and just, like, ran through the countryside. Giant, horrible squid spiders that, like, just devoured people. And no one really knew what to do about it, because the elves could handle it, because most of them understood magic. But, like, a normal dude just couldn't. So, throughout the history, eventually the humans get to this understanding that through magic and horrible experimentations, they could create a warrior that could stand up to the things that this dimensional crossing made. And they called those people Witchers. Witchers, in general, are abominations of mutagenic research, magical mishaps, and lethal training. So, like, Witchers will basically take in people that don't have families, so orphans and other things, which, again, there's endless wars that are happening in this world. So orphans are wildly easy to come by.
Down a dozen.
Yeah, they'll get 50 or 100 orphans, train them until their teenage years, and then see if they can undergo the transformation. Of those 100, like, maybe 5 will survive. One, they'll survive the training to get to that point, and then it basically takes someone crazy special to even survive the horrible things that happen to become a Witcher. Assuming that you can survive all of that. Alright, thanks, Karma. See ya. Assuming that you can survive all of that, you become like an insanely skilled killer of monsters. And your job then is to go out into the world and to take care of monsters. You get paid to kill bad things. Yeah, there's also mages. Mages are wildly powerful in this setting. These are not like D&D wizards where you start off your little first level dude, you can, like, shoot a little missile. These are people who, even, like, out of the university training, are capable of devastating, like, battalions of soldiers. So they're horrifying, I guess, in short. And there's a lot of other social stuff that happens with all of this, but that's the general, like, lens that you need to kind of look through this with. So when you pick, you get to decide if you're going to be either a human or an elf, a dwarf. Which are dwarves, by the way, are very, like, stereotypical D&D style dwarves. They live in the mountains. They are, like, master craftsmen. I mean, it's very much like what you would expect out of a dwarf. If you become a Witcher, you get lightning reflexes, enhanced sense of smell, like, to the point that you can identify people by their scent. You can track blood. I mean, like, it's pretty intense. You're also resistant to mutation, which is a thing that comes up, apparently. Let me drop this as well. And maybe my good mod could pin this. This, by the way, is the link to the book that we're talking about right now. Your elves are sort of your standard elves. They don't necessarily live in trees. They actually live in, like, secluded forests and often, like, ruins of their old civilization, which are sometimes, or most of the time, underground, which is weird. But once you decide what you're going to get, you get some perks for being the race that you've decided, and then you get to do this thing called a life path. Some of this is optional, like, you can just say, like, I don't want to be from Redania. That's a problem for the campaign that we're running. But you kind of choose, like, where the kingdoms that you're going to come from, and your origin will give you, like, a skill, basically. You can decide your parental fate. A lot of these are that they're dead. There's an equal amount of they don't want to talk to you anymore. One or more of your parents have died of the plague. One or more of your parents were killed by monsters. One or more of your parents sold you for coin, or traded you for some good or service. Your parents needed the money more than they needed you.
Look, they can have more kids. They can't just have more money.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, Cam.
freaking brutal, man.
Cam, both Mothership and this both seem fucking cool as shit.
So I haven't even got to the cool stuff of this yet. We're still like rolling through. But yeah, you get to make like, who's your most influential friend? What's the status that you come from? Are you an adventurer? Are you a noble? Etc. And you can even go so far as to say how many like siblings you have and all of that. You then get to make a life path check to see if you were born with fortune or misfortune. Things like a mage owes you one, you know a witcher, you are actually trained in a combat school. And then the misfortunes.
I'm sure I would have many misfortunes.
I think you only roll once. Yeah. You roll once, and it's either a fortune or misfortune, an ally or an enemy, or a romance. Romance, by the way, is a huge part of this game. Not to say that, like, there's a system for it, but just in the stories in general, most of the things that happen in the story happen because someone fell in love with someone that they either weren't supposed to, or needed to, like, seal. I'm very Game of Thrones, like, we need to seal the two families together, and we're going to do that because you got to marry that person. And then betrayals. Like, so much of this plot is being betrayed by, or having someone who was betrayed as, like, a main part of the story. So, you choose your profession. Your profession is basically like a class from D&D. You get a defining skill. This is something that is like the Interlock special. Cyberpunk 2020 works the exact same way. So, like, in Cyberpunk, your defining skill for a netrunner would be net running. And, like, only someone with net running can run the net. Or the solos have, like, one-man army, and they do different stuff as they get points into it. And this works the same way. So in each of the times, it's going to say, like, okay, so busking is your skill. This is how it works with your character. In this case, busking is that you can go into a place and generate money because you actually can sing and people like you.
You can busk it down.
Yeah.
Bard style.
Vigor, from what I remember, is a magic thing. So, I need to...
I just got out of Elden Ring. I was thinking, like, oh man, this is going to be health vigor check.
No. I'm pretty... And boy, I'm going to have to double check on that. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's a magic thing. It's been a minute since I've played this, so some of it's going to come back, some of it's not. But then you get skills. The system for this, by the way, is attribute plus skill plus a d10, which is a thing we're going to talk about because that is one of the great things about Interlock, that it's super simple, but also one of the things that's the most crippling about it, because that means that there's a 1 in 10 chance that you either critically succeed or critically fail. And critical successes in this game are wildly powerful. And critical failures in this game are horrendous. I believe one of the first times I critically failed when I was playing a Witcher, I hit myself so hard I almost lost an arm. Yeah.
We can't have Mast play this because he was in our game. He was only rolling 20s or 1s.
Right, and like,
Or
dude,
was that
you will not last long. So you have bards, you have craftsmen. Craftsman's kind of cool in that this definitely has the idea of like super well-made items are what drives the world. Having steel that's made by someone of worth, or that like actually can build something worth a damn, is the difference between life and death. So having someone who can actually craft you good stuff is really good and really important. Criminal is your standard rogue. Practice Paranoia is a hilarious thing for their class skill, which is basically that they're always assuming that everyone around them is going to fuck them over. And whenever
Hey man, it's probably more right than wrong.
Right. So whenever someone is either attempting to ambush them or spring a trap, or if they're going to spring like a mechanical trap, they can make a practice paranoia roll to see if they just were like, no, I'm not going to fall for that shit. Healing hands for your doctor, so these are your like, and the medicine in this is actually like relatively advanced. For the most part, this is like around the 17-ish century, so this is still some of leeches and things, but they have like moved it enough that like people are suturing wounds closed and they know about disinfectant. So that's kind of nice. Mages are wildly powerful, as I covered, and one of the things that always is difficult when you get when you get a group together for Witcher is that someone will want to play a mage, and they are so crazy powerful that they will almost overshadow anything, which is kind of an issue. And they're like, yeah, their magical skills are crazy. Their magical perks are even crazier. One of the things about the system as well is that you can cast magic until you're tired. So there aren't like spell slots, and you have to make checks every time you cast a spell. But it does mean that like once you're strong enough, you can just output death forever. Yeah. And then men at arms, this is your standard like soldier, which their thing is tough as nails. That's an awesome thing, which whenever they're hurt or if they're reduced to 0 hit points, they can make a tough as nails thing to just keep fighting.
Despite a flesh wound, I can still fight.
Indeed. Priests are another thing. They have divine magic in this. It's extremely rare. There's only a couple of named characters that can wield divine magic, and most of them are druids. But in this, they have a priest. So you can basically cast some priestly rituals, which basically are like defense rituals and things like that. And then you have your Witcher. Your Witcher gets Witcher training. And Witcher training is kind of crazy. Druids are, in fact, in the other book. I think they're in the magic book, which is this, which we will get to. But yeah, so Witchers, with Witcher training, whenever you run into a monster, and this happens in like every D&D game I've ever been in, is that you run into a monster, and the first because there's always like this understanding that, you know, you're going to be deciding like how much you know in game versus out of game, because like that's always a thing that you're kind of fighting. But with Witchers, they like specifically lay it out. Like, you're going to make a test of your Witcher training to see if they covered this monster. Every monster in the book is going to have 2 stat pieces to it, which is common knowledge, which is the superstition, and Witcher knowledge. And they're always going to have a difficulty class, which again, 10 is like nothing. Because again, it's stat plus skill, which both of those can be between 1 and 10, plus a d10.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, like you'll just fly through that. But then it will be like, this is what you know about this creature. Which, by the way, these are one of the things that came through the conjunction that people are like, what in the hell am I looking at? Like, well, I can tell you it eats 150 pounds of flesh a day. Yeah, it is, yeah. So, but you can see, like, the difficulties and stuff will go up based on the difficulty of the monster and how rare it is, mostly. But, anyway, so, you have intelligence, reflexes, dexterity, body, and speed. Weirdly, intelligence is the dexterity of this game. If you have a high intelligence, you will have a bonus to so many skill checks, it's crazy. Which, as a mage, you have to have high intelligence. So you're going to succeed on a ton of things. Vigor is how much chaos you can channel at one time. Spells have like a threshold of chaos that you have to generate in order to put into it. So say that your vigor is 5 and the spell costs 9. So you're going to spend one whole turn generating chaos. That gives you 5. On your next turn, you're going to generate 5 more, which you only needed 4. You can cast a spell. Most spells don't take more than 5 if they're combat spells. Unless they're like, wipe out that direction of people. You generate these skills, if I recall correctly, I think either just no. You get an amount of pools. So, like, you get a pool of points to distribute all of your statistics. You also get hit points, stamina, and recovery and stun based on your body and will +2. This is directly the same as Cyberpunk 2020. And then you get some like melee bonuses and stuff. But one of the big things to take away is that you're going to be buying skills as you progress. And some skills are like more expensive to buy than others. So when you look at this list, and I'll get a little closer, you see how languages and monster lore and tactics have a 2 next to it? You basically have to buy that skill twice in order to get more out of it. And that's the same for, like, you can see hex weaving and spell. Basically anything with magic requires you to dump a ton of points into it. So there is at least that kind of like drawback. But you're going to buy all of your skills. That's going to eventually give you your character. There's a certain amount of points depending on the level that you're playing of the game. So it'll tell you basically how many base skill points you get if you're playing at like different levels. You also are going to get points directly from your package. So like if you're a man at arms, or let's just open whatever random one we can here. Here we go. Yep. So like with a merchant, you're going to get all of these skills just so that your character can do the thing he's supposed to be able to do. I always hated that of like, you're a fighter and you're not really a fighter yet. Soon you'll be a fighter. Like, no, you're going to come out of the gate by knowing how to fight. After that, we can get into the specialized trees for every skill. So we said there's like that master skill that you get, your defining skill. In Witcher, unlike in Cyberpunk 2020, you actually can go down different trees and be like, oh, I'm a bard, but I can do the charmer versus the informant versus the manipulator. And then you get different points, or different pieces, like basically different powers, as you level. So as you like increase that skill, I think it's every 2 you move to the next one. It might be every 3. I think it's actually every 3. That'd be a thing that I should look up to be 100% certain about. But one of the cool things is Craftsman includes both the ability to make weapons, and the ability to make potions and magic items. So your Craftsman can be like an insane alchemist if you want, which is awesome. Your thief, you have actually like standard thieves, people who are running gangs, and people who are assassins. So I really like that they break these up into like, I am a man at arms, but I'm a bounty hunter, or I am a marksman, versus like everyone always being the same thing because they're the same class or profession.
That is really cool.
Yep.
I want to be
Witcher,
a gang boss criminal. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean they give you pretty cool powers, even like right out the gate. So for gang boss, you can roll weak spot against sentient targets deceit roll to identify the target's most valuable possession on their person. It'll also grant the criminal +1 to all intimidate rolls for every 2 points they rolled above their target's deceit. So you basically learn what you can use to manipulate someone and push them into doing what you need them to do.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. And the doctor also covers herbalist, which I thought was cool.
I thought it was also neat that criminals are like an intelligence class instead of like a charisma thing or something.
I think gang boss is the closest thing to, because empathy is your like charisma score in this. So, but yeah, the normal thief is like casing areas. What's awesome is mental key for the thief. If you've ever picked a lock before, you don't ever have to roll for it again. You have permanently memorized that lock, and so if you ever need to go back and forth, you just can. Forever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, so this is another interesting part. So whenever you do damage, and again, like Cyberpunk 2020 does the same thing, damages are always in D6s, which this is a little bit hard. I don't think the camera is going to focus on this enough to give you guys a good clean read of that. But your standard longsword does 2d6 plus 2. All the way up to like battle axes doing 5d6. So you actually do throw around like quite a few dice of damage to do damage. Criticals can also multiply that damage. But like this is the key thing to take away is on this chart, which I don't know again if this is going to let you guys actually read it. But like 30 and 40 damage or 30 and 40 hit points is where your average person is going to be. So you have 30 hit points and a battle axe does 5d6. That combat's not going to last very long.
Yeah, no.
If I recall correctly as well, armor gives you straight damage reduction, which is very useful in that, you know, these things will kill you. And some of them, I mean, will give you a crap ton of armor, but it will degrade as you get hit. So that's another thing too of like eventually that thing's gonna come apart. And so you can take a shot to the dome because you have a metal helmet, but you can't take 3 shots to the dome. They also have all this
It's gonna
stuff
be dented in on your head.
Yeah. For like weirder things for other races. So like dwarves have their own thing. Elves will have some of their own weapons. There are gnomes and other things, but they're not, at least as far as I have seen so far, I don't think they're player classes. They might be in the Lords. I don't know, we'll kind of take a look at that again. But there are other folks that are just much, much rarer. But yeah, you can find some of their weapons and things in here. So this is what I actually wanted to get to. So those of you who have played Witcher 3, alchemy is a huge part of that game. Like, you're going to find herbs, you're going to find... I believe you can play other folks like magic resistant halflings. Maybe that's so. I'm trying to remember where that was. I don't know. We're going to dig into that. That might be also in the Tome of Chaos, where they have some other weird stuff. But one of the things that you're going to constantly be doing in this game is you're going to be on the lookout for herbs, and when you kill something, you're going to part it out. So, like, that's a thing that you're going to have to always be on the lookout for. When you do that, you're going to get alchemical pieces. Those alchemical pieces were going to be put together for, which is like the whole gear section here. Let me see. I want to skip spells for a second because that's a whole other thing. Here we go. Yes. So, there are all of these alchemical things that you could find. Vitriol, rebus, aether, quiberth, hydrangea, vermilion, sol, calcinium, and fulgur. Everything is made up of these. And these basically are examples of like what you can use to get vitriol out of, or rebus, or aether. Not something that you have to worry about per se of like, oh, I know that I can like get something out of this or whatever. But when you actually like are parting a creature out, like you're cutting out the eyes because you know that there's magic in it, which again will be like you're gonna make a roll if either you're a mage or an alchemist or a witcher to just know that those things have power in them, and it's gonna tell you how or like what you're gonna collect out of it.
Jeepers creeping the monster for your good juice.
Yeah. So speaking of good juice, you're gonna then put those components together, and you can kind of see, like, you just follow a chart. If you've got a purple and an orange, you can make a hallucinogen. If you've got a blue and an orange, you can make a clotting powder. So these are the generic formula. The Witchers also have their own formula. You can see some of these are crazy. They require like a huge amount of components. But doing this is going to be like one of the things you're going to constantly be looking for as a Witcher. Combat for this is kind of brutal. As we said, like, when you get hit, it's going to freaking hurt. One of the things that in D&D people will always get into their head eventually is, I have 30 hit points, you do a D8. You cannot kill me for X amount of rounds. Like, at least 3 rounds you cannot kill me, because you don't do enough damage to do that. That is not the case in The Witcher. Hit locations have damage multipliers or damage reducers. So, like, if you get hit in the head, after you roll all of your damage, you're going to multiply it by 3. So there is a very good chance, if you are not wearing a helmet, you are instantly dead. On every hit, you will roll for a hit location. Armor saves lives. You can also layer armor, which is another kind of big thing. But hit locations are kind of the engine that this runs on. And also, like, if you take a certain amount of damage to your arm, like, your arm is coming off. So you have basically wound thresholds, depending on how much health you have, of how much damage you can take in a single hit before it becomes a critical. Criticals are pretty brutal. And depending on how much you beat the defense by, will determine the level of critical. So if you roll really, really well, you can just straight like one-shot a dude because of how well you criticaled him. And they have things like, okay, if it's a simple thing, like, you're going to basically hurt them and they're going to be slightly injured for the combat, to now I'm going to hurt you in a way that you're going to need, like, medical aid to deal with. Then to, I'm going to hurt you in a way that you now have minutes to live. And, like, you're going to be in extreme pain during those minutes. Hey, Ambi. And deadly is ridiculous. I mean, basically, if you get to the point that you're rolling a deadly, it's decapitation, spinal separation, speared through the heart, like disemboweled bowel so that they're going into septic shock, instantly removing limbs. Like, it's crazy. Thanks for the follow, Ambi. So, combat is a thing that if you're getting engaged with someone who actually knows what they're doing, with someone who is not very skilled, you are in deep shit. which is kind of a unique thing for people who are coming from a much more forgiving system. Again, like, you can get hit in D&D 2 or 3 times, and it may not be that big of a deal. That will not be the case in this particular game. So combats are usually pretty short, like 3 or 4 turns at max, unless 2 of the combatants are wildly skilled. Then we have the magic resolution system, where you're going to basically roll against the target number of the spell. There are different fumble effects if you fumble a spell for each element that you're channeling chaos through. They have the discussion of Dimaterium, which is basically an anti-magic metal. It will actually poison anyone who's magical. So you can kind of see here, this is a Dimaterium set of shackles. If a mage has Dimaterium on them, they cannot cast spells. They just can't. They'll be lucky if they're standing, honestly. Even, like, touching it to your skin is enough to make you, like, vomit. And Dimaterium is another thing that, like, came out of the Grand Conjunction that, like, there's just some of it in the world now, and you have to find it. They do have some vehicle combat, so in case you want to do, like, 2 chariots or, like, a wagon and people on horseback and you're, like, chasing each other. Healing is a big deal. Being able to, like, suture wounds closed and stuff is a big deal. I need to get rid of that. There's also social combat. So, like, befriending someone to get them to do what you need them to do in court. Seducing them, persuading them, getting them to yes, yep. What they call verbal combat. Yeah. And you do, like, have specific defense rolls that you're going to make if someone's trying to manipulate you, or to, like, tell if someone's actually cares about you or not. And people who are social characters are, like, terrifying, because, again, like, you kind of can only be really good at, like, one thing. So you could be the strongest killer on the planet, but if you go against a silver-tongued bard, he's going to make you his best friend, and you're never going to be able to turn your sword against him because he's great. You love him. This kind of gets into the way deeper than we're going to go for this, but it's all the different kingdoms and what they do and why they exist. Those of you who have played The Witcher 3, Skellige and Temeria and Redania are big things, as are Dol B'Thana. Mahakam is the dwarven nation. That's why they're, you know, dwarfy type things. Dol B'Thana is the elven place. And then Nilfgaard, which is basically the Empire from Star Wars. They have soldiers that wear black that come in and try to tell everyone that the Emperor is your new Lord and Savior, and if you don't believe that, then you're a heretic and you have to die. Yeah. Witchers. So when you join a Witcher school, or rather when you're recruited and survive a Witcher school, you choose what animal totem that Witcher school was a part of. The main character, of course, is a part of the wolf school, but there's also the cat, the griffin, the viper, and the bear. There's also talk about, I think, the manticore and no, that's a viper. There's a manticore and there's one other one that are, like, sort of lost schools. One of the key pieces, because again, this is European, like Eastern European fantasy, so it's pretty bleak. At the beginning of the game, depending on when you play, which is generally during the Nilfgaardian War, at that point, the process of making Witchers has already been lost. So only the Witchers that had already been created pre their like
know how to do it.
extinction, they don't even necessarily know how to do it. They're just the last of their kind.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, you're
Cam wants the PDF.
here. I will resend the core.
I've still got that pin for the drivethrurpg.com.
Is that for... Oh, it is for... Okay, so the pin is the book that we're talking about. So each of the schools, like, trains differently. Wolf has this place called Kaer Morhen, where they basically have this huge castle on the side of a mountain that they've been defending for hundreds of years. Witchers are biologically immortal, ? Witchers don't die of old age, is really the thing to take away from this. If they're gonna die, they're gonna get killed by something. But that's sort of one of the big, like, sad things that you carry with you when you're playing a Witcher, is that, like, you and your brothers are the last of your kind. There will never be more. And even if there could be, Witchers also are sterile, so, like, they can't pass on their genes, or even have kids in general. So they are
recreational slammer, not appropriational.
That is true. There is a lot of recreational slamming in the Witcher books. So yeah, you choose what school. The schools. Oh yeah, there's a little thing about Manticore right there. You choose the school. The school kind of tells you, like, what your philosophy is. So, like, Wolf is basically the super combat school. Cat is the ambush, like, sneaking school. Griffin they lean into magic. Witchers can also use, like, some really basic magic, which they call signs. But Griffin will take that a step further. They can actually do some amount of, like, true chaos channeling. Vipers are the poison / like, potion experts. So if you needed to know, like, I need an oil that will kill this whatever crazy creature, like, Viper is going to know how to make that shit. Bears are armor masters. They, like, stack up huge amounts of armor and are towering behemoth berserkers. And Manticore, I can't remember. They don't actually have stuff for, like, playing them, but I think they are also a kind of poison, like magical poisons, maybe. If you're playing a mage, you actually have gone to school. You cannot naturally do spells. You can channel chaos, but, like, God only knows what it's going to do if you start to do it. And if you don't actually know how to channel chaos properly, you'll just blow the shit out of yourself. Like, you'll actually explode. If you've seen the Netflix show, you've seen a bunch of the magic. One of the key differences is they added this weird aspect to that show where fire magic, like, kills you. I don't know why they did that. That's not a thing in this game, and it's not a thing in the books. The Havakar, I cannot remember what that's about. But each of these are, like, different societies. So the mages have their own society. They have a bunch of schools. Aretusa is, like, the big school that a lot of people go to. One of the weirder aspects of this game is that I kind of said, like, mages were, like, so powerful. One of the first things that you learn to do as a mage is to body sculpt yourself into, like, a godlike physique. There are no ugly mages because they will perfect their body to the point that they are desirable. And they do that because they know that stupid people will be like, oh, boobs, I'm going to do what you say. So all of the women are, like, wildly gorgeous. They can shape their bodies into anything that they want. One of the main characters is actually, like, was a hunchback and physically deformed. And she removed all of that and made herself inhumanly beautiful. Most of the men don't really go to that extreme. Like, if you were a, like, trans person, you could just make your body into what you wanted the moment you actually understood magic. So I don't know that there's any like specific examples of that, but like with the sculpting that everyone else has done, I don't see why not. Men usually make themselves. There's like two: either you make yourself young and hot, or you make yourself old and wise. It depends on what image you're trying to do, and even then, like, it's temporary. If you want to be young and hot, you just have to spend like an afternoon resculpting your body.
That really niche mage that's old and hot.
Yeah, it's weirdly old and weirdly hot. Yeah. The Scoia'tael are elves that are fighting back against the human occupation. So that's crazy. The mage hunters and all this stuff is part of some like smaller storylines, but Nilfgaard hates mages because mages do stuff that the Emperor can't, and that's a problem. So mages are kept under like crazy lock and key, to the point that basically if they do magic outside of the Emperor allowing them to do magic and telling them to do it, they will be executed. And the mage hunters are the people doing the executions. I don't actually remember what the crescent moon is, but there's a bunch of different religions. This doesn't actually come up that much in the whole story, so like that's kind of interesting. You have a bunch of plot stuff and like obviously how to set up beats for your story and just your general like how the Witcher world should work. There's a couple of interesting things about this of like, this isn't epic fantasy. People in The Witcher die. Like, that's just a thing to take away from this. You are not immortal. You are not the chosen one. If things go badly, you're going to get smoked. As well, monsters aren't the only evil. Like, if I was going to say there's any one thing to take away from running The Witcher, is that the horrors of the monsters should be equaled by the horrors of man. So, like, this horrible shit that a noble does should be just as awful as the thing that's stealing people's skin and sucking the marrow out of their bones. Yes, the worst thing in this world is men. Ask any Scoia'tael. Two swords. As a Witcher, you will always have two blades. One that is steel for humans, and one that is silver for monsters. Silvered weapons affect monsters differently than steel does. So a Witcher will always carry two because he is prepared to take both lives. Also, keeping your silvered sword, it isn't magical. It's like an alchemical reaction. Because it doesn't work on everything as well. It just works on like 80% of things. So in your, because otherwise, like, you're gonna have to figure out what oil. Because this is all the Witcher stuff. So you'll also get, when you start to make a Witcher, you're going to be given both your silver, or your steel and silver sword. You're going to know so many Witcher potions, which each of these are sort of designed to help you fight a specific threat. So for instance, cat potions are specifically designed to allow you to see in the dark. So if you're going to hunt something that lives in a cave, then a cat potion is what you need. Black blood potion makes your blood poisonous to vampires or anything else that will try to take something out of your body. So if they drink your fucking tears, your blood, your urine, whatever, if it comes out of you, it is a horrible poison. And it lasts like for so long. What's interesting about this is that each of these have a toxicity rating. So if you see a thing where you see the Witchers and they have, this is Geralt when he has a cat potion because he's got the cat slit eyes and his eyes are kind of glowing. But you'll see Witchers get black veins. And that's because their mutations were specifically allowing them to resist a certain amount of lethal toxicity. So this toxicity rating, if you aren't someone with mutagenic properties, that is the percent chance that drinking this will instantly kill you. So for Witchers, you basically get a percentage, like 150%, let's say. And so until it reaches 150%, you're cool. You can keep drinking poison. But yeah, all of them do things like they'll give you immunity to poisons, allow you to hold your breath for some crazy amount of time. After you get your potions, you have your oils. These will just give you extra bonus damage against certain types of creatures. There's also decoctions, which are like salves and stuff you can rub on your skin to give you special powers. And then you have your Witcher medallion. So your Witcher medallion is one of the other key pieces you're always going to have, and the medallion will be in the shape of whatever your school is. So if you're a wolf Witcher, it'll be a big wolf head. You can see Geralt's right here is like a wolf shape. That is made out of silver and has been enchanted to detect supernatural and dimensional entities. So what will happen is if they walk into a room with something that is a supernatural creature, even if it's disguised, their medallion will start to shake. So that they know oh, there's a supernatural creature somewhere in here. And then usually the Witcher will roll his senses and be like, hey, you smell like blood. Why do you smell like blood? Are you bleeding? Is there blood under your nails? That's weird. We're going to have a conversation about it. So yeah, and this goes back to that thing I was showing you guys before, that each of the potions, you just have to collect a certain amount of X, Y, and Z, and that will let you brew it. There's a craft DC that you have to make to brew it, and that will determine how many, basically potions you can, or how many, hits of that potion you can craft. As a Witcher, you can also continue to mutate yourself. So if you get bits and pieces of creatures, you can actually apply the different mutagens to yourself in order to give yourself permanent bonuses. But when you do that, you will actually get a permanent mutation. So, if you apply Griffin mutagen, you're going to do bonus melee damage, but you're going to start to grow feathers somewhere. Yeah. Yep. All the green mutagens give you extra hit points, but will, turn your body fluids and stuff like that into weird things. Runes and relics. Runes are basically Diablo 2 style runes and socketables. So a weapon will take so many runes, and then you can kind of mix and match as you find them. And then glyphs are they're magical spells basically that you can put on items. They're not a physical, they are physical because you actually have to draw it on it, but it's more of a magic thing versus you have a physical thing that you're jamming into something. It's a thing that you draw on it. There's also just in general magic items. That's what this whole section is of oh, this is the Red Death. And notice there's an education DC. That's if you would handle this item, you'd be able to roll that to see if you knew what the hell this thing was. And then you get actual monsters. Monsters will have their armor and bounty, which I believe is how much like gold you can turn them in for. These are like all of your things, but then you can get into like the actual monsters, and it will tell you in their stat blocks basically how they work and the places that they're going to be, how they show up there, why they show up there, and they're going to drop loot. So a drowner will drop drowner brains, a tongue, and essence of water, and then so many points of that. And that's how you start to gather up all of your alchemical components to be like, all right, kill drowners, I'm going to start getting pieces that I can use for magic. Oh, God. Dude, if there is a Gwent mechanic, I have not found it, thank God.
What would be the Gwent mechanic?
So Gwent is a card game that's in Witcher 3. They actually make standalone Gwent games now because of how popular that's become.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's an interesting game. I didn't fall in love with it, but people who like it are like real into it.
It's kind of like people who didn't know Farkle existed until they played Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then they got really into Farkle.
Yes. I guess except that this was like made specifically for.
Yeah, this is a made-up game that got.
Yeah.
We made up a mini game in a game, and it got so popular we had to make it real.
That is correct, and it is like, it's wild, and it's like one of the memes of Witcher 3 that, like, all the insane shit that is happening in the world that you're dealing with. And then you'll be like, well, I know that the kingdom's on fire and all these people are dying, and your like daughter was stolen by a werewolf, and it's probably going to be like hours before she's eaten by that werewolf. But like, what kind of Gwent cards what kind of Gwent deck you got? What are you rocking over there? And so
I see that there's a Gwent card game on Steam, and I went and found the website, and apparently it is also an esport.
I'm not surprised by that. I'm realizing, too, that there is nudity in this book, so I gotta be real careful turning these pages. And you can see, too, that there's vulnerabilities and stuff, so it'll actually be like, yeah, this thing, if you use hybrid oil on it, it will deal, like, a ton of extra damage. And each of them has abilities that they can use in combat.
Oh, man, they had the Gwent World Championships this February.
Oh, of course. So yeah, that, in short, and here's the, I was trying to see where the character sheet was. Here you go. So this is your standard character sheet, which is pretty thick. But yeah, you're gonna put in all of your stats. There's a little spot that you can write in.
Thick sheet.
Eat all of your things. Yeah, and it's a couple of pages too, so different weapons, gear.
That's dense.
And then there's another page if you're doing spells, you have evocations and rituals, and then campaign notes and life. So when you're actually building your character and you go through your life events, depending on when you want to stop for your age, like, there's a lot. Again, like, it's such an interesting game. So one of the things that I would recommend if you want to pick this up, if you want to play this, is that there is an expanded version of Interlock. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I'm going to see if I can look it up real quick, which can be very difficult because my keyboard is right there. But what I would say is that anytime you're going to do a game, you're going to have to ask your players, like, okay, how do I handle criticals and critical failures? I would set up something to have a 2-level check so that I don't immediately roll on the critical table if I roll a 1. Because again, like, I'm doing 5d6 to somebody and I've got a shitload of strengths, it's 5d6 plus 5 plus 5. Like, there's a good chance that I'm gonna, like, seriously hurt myself on a failed roll. And if I'm playing a Witcher, I've spent the first 20 years of my life surviving something that 5% of the people that did it survived. I probably shouldn't cut my fucking arm off in the first combat. Probably shouldn't do that. But as the system stands, that is 100% a chance, and it's a 1 out of 10. So I think what I would do is to say, on a critical failure, you're going to roll another d10 or a d6 and decide like a 1 or a 6 so that there's at least another chance to stop it. You'll have to make a decision if you want to also do that with crits, because it will pretty drastically reduce how lethal the system is. But like, that may not be a bad thing, is what I'm saying. So, it is 8:30, so I'm going to go through these other things here pretty quick. So, we have Lord and Lands. I'm going to post this as well, in case people want to take a look at this on DriveThruRPG. Lord and Lands.
I'll make a good post for this.
Thank you. Lord and Lands is adding some other things. In particular, it's adding halflings, which this is where the actual halflings things come. And it adds the noble profession. So in case you want to actually play someone who has, like, that you're a knight with landed fiefdom, or you're leading an army, or you're a dilettante, and this is your very spooky social characters. This is the thing that you get. And you get notoriety as your defining skill. And then it kind of talks about, like, having an estate as a noble and what that means. And it adds a couple more alchemy items.
Glorious estate for the party.
But the big thing of why people buy that is for this. Because I cannot help myself but buy freaking, oh boy, GM screens. And each of these is awesome. This is the Queen of the Elves. I'm trying to remember who most of these other people are. But these are all, like, named characters. So you get this whole thing. And, like, look at the difference. Which this is pretty thick. God, I keep hitting the camera, sorry. This is pretty thick, too. Of, like, what's in it and how many things there are. But most of this is stuff that, like, how much something costs in silver or whatever. Like, it's not a huge thing. But there is, like, this is an entire page dedicated to how dealing with wounds works. And how criticals are in making death saves and stabilization. And then there's the whole action chart of if you're going to cast a spell, make an attack. The standard difficulty checks are that in the blue. And then ranges if you're doing ranged attacks on people. And then cover for, like, how many hit points does a piece of cover have before it's going to break. And then weapons can have special effects on them, like bleeding, armor piercing, etc. So this is all the definitions there. And the effects for if you've been poisoned, you're bleeding, you're freezing, you're staggered, etc. So, yeah. I mean, all in all, it's a pretty solid little screen. It's definitely one of the bigger screens that I have. It's 8.5 by 11 that stands tall. So I have a bunch now that are 8.5 by 11, but they're 3-paneled and they sit on the 8.5, so that's kind of weird. But this is a nice, big, tall, thick boy screen that is full art printed, which is kind of nice. The Witcher's Journal. This is the book of monsters. So one of the coolest things about The Witcher is all of the freaking monsters that you're going to run into. If you've played Witcher 3, you kind of know... Oh boy, listen to the spine on that thing. You kind of know that there's just, like, tons and tons and tons of monsters. And learning each of them is very different than what you may be expecting from something. So, like, one of the most unique aspects of this game is that you can't just throw someone at a monster. So, meaning that, like, yeah, if there's a ghost that's haunting this guy, one, unless you have a silvered weapon, you're not even going to be able to hurt it. Like, you literally won't be able to hurt it. And even if you can hurt it with a silvered weapon, and that's only some ghosts that you can stab, because there's a bunch of kinds of ghosts. Killing that ghost is only step one, which means tomorrow that thing's going to rise back from its grave, and it's going to continue to try to do what it's been set out to do. Again, assuming that it's the type of ghost that does that. Some ghosts are stuck to a location. Some ghosts are attached to an event. Some ghosts are attached to people. They can move. They can't leave this area, etc. There's all these special specifications. And so when you go through this, it's going to tell you, like, okay, this is a hymn. This is what hymns do. This is why a hymn exists. This is the thing that can hurt it. This is what will basically just make it angry. And also give you a bunch of abilities of, like, here's the crazy shit this thing can do to somebody. Pesta, for instance, is a great example. Pestas are a kind of ghost. And they are susceptible to specter oil. I forgot to tell you, too. Witchers also make bombs. So moon dust bombs are a bomb that you can use to make something that can turn invisible still show up as like a glittering outline. But pestas are a ghost that will specifically hunt down people because they died of a disease. And that disease has become like part and parcel of them. And most of the times people who died of a disease that either, like, someone could have helped them or they didn't, or in some, like, way, shape, or form, they were left alone and they're dealing with, like, their emotional state of dying from this thing. So that plays into all of this. They can summon, like, plague rats. Their claw attacks will inflict you with whatever disease they had when they were dying. They can become incorporeal. They can do a ton of horrible shit, and they're relatively strong monsters. But again, until you realize that you need to figure out and destroy their original, like, corpse-strewn body, you can slow them down, but you won't be able to kill them. Or you can kill them, but, like, that's a today solution, not a tomorrow solution.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. So, and there's
a
ton of other things. Like, obviously, there's all the different wildlife of bears and things. You have cursed ones. These are things that are made very specifically from someone doing something that will bring them into existence. There's Spirit of the Wood that will claim places, and they'll create, like, altars, and until you destroy their altar, they're basically immortal. There's a ton of things. And then, I mean, your hybrids are your basic, like, D&D style monsters, harpies and things. They're biological, so they don't have supernatural bends, so you can actually go and, like, just stab them to death. Oh boy, succubus was the thing I was worried about. I didn't know how that was gonna go.
No, it was fine. It was fine.
Yep. But yeah, so Frighteners are freaking cool. Frighteners are a monster that a mage made, because again, mages can shape flesh, and they were trying to genetically engineer a weapon for a kingdom. So this, like, noble basically was like, I'm gonna pay you, like, 10,000 gold. And in return, you're gonna make me a big, horrible monster that we can reproduce and that I can send into the front line so my men don't die. And so every person that ever comes to my kingdom looking to cause trouble is gonna meet this dude on the battlefield.
Sounds horrendous.
It didn't go well.
Sounds like they couldn't control it.
The mage did make it. It then ate him. I believe after driving him insane. And then he made it so that they can reproduce asexually. So, now it's everybody's problem. Oh,
Hey,
good.
man, mission accomplished.
Yep. Mission accomplished indeed. But yeah, I mean, and like, dude, this book is thick with monsters. And stuff that's from the game. And a lot of this is pulled directly out of Witcher 3. So,
I really need to play that game.
godlings aren't a thing in...
I think you even got it for me, and I really need to go through it.
Probably. For a while, I was buying it for everybody. You get a Witcher, and you get a Witcher, because they were selling it for like $5. So I seriously,
Yeah,
I probably have purchased that game over 10 times.
I just need to take time and start getting into the everything sandwich games that I have, like
Well, and I mean, that's kind of the...
Expedition 33, Witcher 3, and all that.
Yeah, that's kind of the bummer, because like, Witcher is not a short game, my man.
I know, that's why, and that's
yeah.
one of the things of like, Expedition 33 is not a short game either. That's why I'm like, man, these everything sandwiches of games, I really need to set some time aside and get into them.
Yep.
That's
So,
the same reason I haven't gone all the way through Baldur's Gate 3.
dude, I've started Baldur's Gate 3 like 50 times. I've yet to...
That's also why, like, me and Cam haven't made it that far in Divinity 2.
Yeah. So many types of vampires. Holy crap, are there a lot of vampires. Which is another cool thing, because, like, the way that you're going to deal with a Plumard is totally different than a Gargan, which is totally different than a Bruxa, which is totally different than, like... There's just so many of these things, and they all work differently, and they're all interesting. There's also dragons, in case you want to get into that. And higher vampires, which is some spoiler stuff that we're going to skip. But it has a bunch more components, new potions, new little bits and pieces you can rip off of monsters, new classifications. Yeah. And some...
Collect 7 Dragon Balls, you get a wish.
Yeah, one of the cool things is that they have this section here for the Witcher book that is setting up investigations. And so when you play Witcher 3, the primary game loop is talk to a person, he has a horrible problem, he's going to pay you X amount of money to make that problem go away. And so you're going to be told, like, this thing comes at night, and it's been stealing my cows. And so you're going to be like, all right, step 1, I'm going to wait until night, and I'm going to wait for this thing to come by. And then, like, you're going to follow the tracks if it doesn't show up. Or there's basically, like, steps that you're going to do to find this. And so it lays out, like, how you can build that as a mechanical mystery in order to keep things flowing. So, like, you want clues, here's a bunch of different kinds of clues, here's, like, ways that you can set this up so that it's easy to do the stuff that you want to do with it. Because one of the things that will happen with investigation games in general is that you're going to wind up with some step of that investigation taking way longer than you meant to. So being able to
sometimes it's hard to suss things out.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like a general thing in any game, but it's kind of nice to be able to make this into a chunk. So that way you can actually, like, lay it out and they will show you individual pieces. So, like, centipede hunt. This is how they will do it. This is how you investigate the scene. This is how you do the evidence analysis. These are the 2 tracking rolls you're going to be able to go back to find it at its lair. This is the research roll to learn about the creature so that you can figure out, like, how to prepare for the fight. Because that's another big part of Witcher is that, like, if you go in totally blind to a monster, you're in a real bad position. Because you don't know what that thing can do.
Knowledge is power.
And, like, you know, oh, if you look it in the eye, it'll petrify you. Like, well, that's a Gorgon? Like, no, it's a weird cockroach thing. But that's one of the powers it has, and if you don't know that, that's a huge problem. So, and then they have a bunch of notes for people to like give you of, you know, hey, here's a contract, because that's what they call it in Witcher 3 is contracts. So, that is, in short, the Witcher's Journal, and why it is a very interesting book. A lot more monsters. I think this has like 40 or 50 new monsters in it. I wonder if it'll actually tell me if there's like an index. No, maybe table of contents then. Nope. I don't know how many new monsters are in it. It's a lot. And there's a bunch of different classifications. So necrophages is a classification of monster. And then you can find all the necrophages and what that means and how to identify a rot fiend from a whatever this thing was. A foglet.
That's really cool, though.
Or a bolivor.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. You want to know what? I don't know if you could find it anymore, but there is a tabletop RPG book. I don't know if you would ever be able to find it. I might be able to find an old PDF of it, but I don't think you'd ever be able to find the physical of it anymore.
That's what NobleKnight.com is for, my friend. I'm an affiliate with them as well.
Because, you know how much I like World of Warcraft.
There is a World of Warcraft game that came out. It was in 3.5. Let me see something.
Before the World of Warcraft tabletop RPG, there was a Warcraft tabletop RPG.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know about that. Let's see. I'll see if I can find it right now. I'm pretty spicy.
Because, yeah, there was, before the World of Warcraft, there was 4 separate editions of the Warcraft tabletop RPG.
They have the World of Warcraft core book. But it is currently their worst quality, which is fair, is $85. It is a
World of
400-page book.
Oh, and I was wrong about there being 4 editions. There was only 1 edition of the Warcraft tabletop RPG, but they re-released it with 4 different covers over the years. And then basically Warcraft 2nd edition is the World of Warcraft RPG that came out in 2005, and it basically only had like 1 running, and they never ran it again.
They do have the Warcraft Manual of Monsters, which is $70 for core, and it looks like a Sword and Sorcery, which I believe was White Wolf, their thing. But they do have actually a ton of those books. I will post a link in here. Here, 1 second.
And I only say that because it was before I ever got into stuff, and so like the Warcraft books, were originally made in 2003 and ran until late 2004, whenever they got the 2nd edition release, which started in 2005 of the World of Warcraft books, and they were only made in 2005.
Interesting.
That was it. I don't know, and like you said, I guess it was severely unpopular and just nobody bought it, so they ran it for like 1 year at a massive loss apparently and did not make it again.
Shocking. That is all that they have for the Warcraft RPG, which looks like they have the core book, the Manual of Monsters, Shadows and Light. They have a lot more for the World of Warcraft RPG, but that is the
That would be, that would be cool to find and try out sometime, and I wonder what the differences are between
I have PDFs
first and 2nd edition.
Yeah, I have PDFs, but I do not have the other thing. So, man, it is getting close to 9. I might actually save this for another time. Just because I want to like close out nicely and have some time before I have to go to bed. But
That's fair. I mean, you could do that, and then you could pick up,
yeah, But this is
Witcher,
definitely
Tome of Chaos plus other stuff, like how you did other stuff this time.
yeah. Because Tome of Chaos, I mean, just like real quick, we're not going to go through like we did before. This has druids, and it has more mages and like a crap ton of new spells, and it talks more about like what it is to be a mage, how you got born into it, how you discovered that you were magical, what your time was like when you were going at Aretusa, and a bunch of other like magical societies. But yeah, it talks a ton about mage spells, and there's a huge amount of evocations, which is what priests cast, and then also a ton of things about enchantments. So when you're actually adding rune words and things to weapons, and elixirs and other magic items. So magic items are kind of a big deal in Witcher. There's also horrible black magic that you can learn, and conjuring demons and that sort of thing. It's just kind of cool because it actually gives you all of the stats for the rest of the mages. So like, Istred was a huge researcher, and like he pioneered a bunch of stuff for magic. These are all the named, like, I love the picture for Francesca is so fucking rad. But that is the Elf Queen.
That is really cool.
Yeah. She can do a bunch of shit that no one can understand because she's learned spells before, like, she's thousands of years old, if I recall correctly. But yeah, here's your split of, like, this is your average male mage. And then, I was trying to see if I could find, yeah, here's some other characters you can run into Witcher 3, Karametz, Margarita, yeah, Philip Eilhart. This is one of the most powerful mages in the Witcher universe. She is one of the few people who have mastered the ability to change shape into animals. So she can, like, seamlessly transform into, like, hawks and shit. She actually has a magic called the Eilhart technique, and that is specifically the thing that she pioneered in order to do. But yeah, so this also talks a lot more about, or I think this is actually has an adventure at the very end of it. But it has some of the other, like, villains and stuff that you can run into and things. So definitely something we'll look back at again sometime. But this is my hope to kind of do between running tabletop games. I want to talk about different games and be able to, you know, go through the book, like, talk to you guys about it, show you the thing. I'm hoping that's an interesting thing that you may not have run into. I'm also hoping to do books that you've never heard of. So, like, you know, Cam
Mothership I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Same
and
thing,
like,
HomeTown Holiday.
HomeTown Holiday. Yeah, I'm definitely not a thing that I'm sure most people have, but like, Cam discovered Witcher today, and like, that's awesome. That if I was going to ever describe my passion for this world, it is teaching people about new games they've never heard of and explaining why this game rules. So if you get a Witcher game going and you're having fun with it and stuff, dude, let me know. I would be so keyed up to know that, like, you heard it, you bought it, you kind of ran with it, and now it's a cool thing that you can do with your friends. So, with that, I think we're going to start to sign off as it's almost 9 o'clock. Thank you, everybody. I got little hands now. I can do hand stuff. Thank everybody for
Let's go.
coming. It's not good, but it's sort of a wolf. Oh, there we go. You guys are paying for this. It's a fucked up thing. Anyway, this is my hope. I'm going to go through more games. I have literally hundreds of games, most of which I guarantee you have not heard of. Is that just wifey? Amazing.
It is wifey.
Beautiful. Give that woman VIP status.
I can do that.
I don't actually know if that does anything, but I feel like if you don't VIP your wife, you're in for it.
Hey, you could moderate her. You could make her
She
a mod.
is a mod. I'm pretty sure I've made her a mod. I don't think I
She
showed
is not.
her.
She is just a subscriber.
Oh wait,
She doesn't have the
this
yellow
is-
sword or the green sword.
This is a new account of hers, actually. I think she had another account. I don't remember. Anyway, this has been a wild stream. I can't believe I A, have subscribers, and B, have 15 of them now. That's nuts to me.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that's like I don't know what to do about that. We're gonna have to
You're gonna have to set up
figure that out.
your payment information because that's gonna be a payout.
Oh boy, we'll see how that goes. I think I already have when I became a Twitch developer, so like that was a whole thing.
Oh, affiliate, yeah.
Not affiliate, developer. Because,
Developer.
yeah, I'm a Twitch developer, so I can make Twitch widgets.
API stuff.
Yes, and in doing so, they can consume bits. So, like Tangia, for instance. So,
Gotcha.
Tangia splits between the guy who maintains Tangia and you. And so, like, that's how developers make stuff, is that you feed bits into the machine, and then so many go to the person who has it, and so many go to the developer. Just in case anyone cares about how Tangia and other things work on Twitch, because that's a thing that I know.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's very interesting.
I'm hoping to like do this every week, where I at least have like a couple hour thing where I talk about books. So we'll see what the next one's going to be next week. Thank everybody for coming. This was, like I said, I cannot thank you enough. This has been wild. But yeah, go out there, become a Witcher, slay the enemy, get paid, son. So with that, we're gonna do this whole ending thing.
I can't actually VIP her. I don't have permissions to.
Okay. We can have that conversation after the stream is over. I don't know how that's gonna go, but we're gonna go to.
You gonna raid out somewhere?
That's a great question. All right, I think don't have my thing. Perfect. Okay, I just was making sure I wasn't double tapping. Raid.
If you don't have anybody, I have options that I could give you. Also, I've got you a raid message. There's one that people could use if they are a subscriber. Even your free emotes now with Twitch, they used to be able to, but you can't now. Can't be used unless you are a subscriber. So if somebody's not a subscriber, there's the same message but without the little raid symbol.
That's beautiful. We need to capture that for things. All right, who do we want to raid? First, do I have anyone that I am following to raid? Ghoulie is raiding, and Ramen Chan. And there's some D&D.
Ramen's doing. Go ahead.
And there's actually a couple of D&D people I know that are doing stuff, and Goya is as well. I don't know. Should we do Ramen? Or should we do Ghoul?
I mean, there's Ramen. Thyla, I know, is doing Fallout 76. There's Jake Chardashian doing Stardew Valley. I know quite a few people, as you know.
Yes, you do know quite a few people.
Also, somebody that I played the other day with, Mallow, is doing Persona 5.
That's interesting.
Sinhud the Pirate's doing Super Mario RPG.
Sure. I'm gonna let you guide this raid. Called
me.
Yep.
I don't know who you might want to. How about I just tell you games and you tell me a game that you think would be a good vibe to send people to? So again, Fallout 76. The like.
Yep, that's the MMO
multiplayer Fallout.
Yep.
Mimesys, which is one of those like, it's labeled as a horror game, but it's as much a horror game as like Repo is.
Oh, interesting. Did you say somebody was playing Mario RPG?
Yeah, Sinhud the Pirate is playing Super Mario RPG.
That's rad. Love Mario RPG.
I know.
Let's do it.
I think it's even the old one. Like they're not even playing the remake.
Fantastic.
So if you need that name, here it is, Sinhud the Pirate.
Okay. Friends,
And again,
we are.
that first message is if they're subscribed because it's got your little symbol in it. If they're not subscribed, they can grab that second one that doesn't have the little raid symbol in it.
And we are on our way out. So again, cannot say thank you enough. This has been phenomenal. I cannot wait to give you guys more reviews. I hope this is something that you guys dig because I'm having a blast with it. So with that, I'm going to click this button. And then it's Mario RPG time, man. Here we go.